There's two characters in Overwatch's history that have gotten a lot of damn reworks, and Sombra is one of them. Crap went out and found this 3-year-old video from Action Esports, which is the evolution of Sombra. I haven't actually watched it yet. I figured we could watch it together, but it seems like it's a little bit of a blast from the past and showing you guys some of the older iterations of what Sombra once was. I figured it'd be cool to watch.
When looking at the history of competitive Overwatch, very few heroes have been as polarizing as Sombra, the game's second post-launch character. Even before she was officially announced at BlizzCon 2016, Sombra had been teased and hinted at through a long drawn-out augmented reality game.
This was one of the coolest things they ever did, hinting what the new character was going to be. And they've started to kind of do this a little bit again, but
that left players' imaginations running wild.
Not really the same way.
The community was thrown for loop after loop, trying to decipher codes in videos like this one in the Summer Games teaser.
Yeah, this community solved it so fast. Yeah, the community solved it extremely quickly, but it was still cool. It was still fun.
Eat my dust. Eat my dust.
Okay.
After this, everyone was expecting Sombra, but instead, we got Ana. And the hype for Sombra continued to grow. So much, in fact, that bizarre theories started to spring up.
Now I know this sounds crazy, but Sombra might be Athena.
Sombra is either Alexandra or Alexandra's mother.
Oh my god. Sombra's Winston thesis 100% confirmed.
One such
You know, there's a lesson to be learned in all of those, is that genuinely the Overwatch community has no clue what it's talking about 95% of the time, but they will stand true and be like, this is fact. Meanwhile, it's just complete delusions.
such theory emerged when game director Jeff Kaplan was asked about Sombra and a
things it takes
compass,
16 months, I appreciate
which
it.
made him respond by saying, quote, "That sounds like deep CIA level stuff, way above our heads." Fans, being fans, took this literally and began to examine the sky in the Dorado map, leading to the discovery of the infamous Sky Code and Sky Song.
Wait, did we have Horizon Lunar Colony at this point? I don't think we did. So
Eventually,
again, left
things
field.
led down a rabbit hole of loading screens and disappointment. Until finally, at BlizzCon, the hero was revealed with an animated short called Infiltration. Despite so much hype being built up around this hero, Blizzard has not done another ARG since. All subsequent hero releases have been much...
Well, the stuff that they did was like, there was the John Cena one, which was instantly, and then they did some like cool little stuff around the betas when like the servers closed down, but yeah, they haven't done anything like this.
more basic and to the point, instead of being long and drawn out. But what about Sombra herself? Once Sombra was available to play, she was received fairly poorly. While her kit was really powerful,
Holy shit. Hack, Thermo Optic Camo, which is her go invisible, but it was only for 8 seconds. Translocator, which is the same TP. EMP, which didn't do damage, it only turned off your abilities for 8 seconds, but it was AoE. And then Opportunist, which was you would see enemies through walls if they're hacked, you could see if they had ult, and then you would also get ult charge. Oh, just if they were low HP. Oh, okay, so you could only see them through the walls if they had low HP, and you also got ult charge from health packs. So there was an old strat back on Volskaya, which was a 2 CP map, to hack the Mega, and your team would run into the Mega over and over and over and just build ult charge for your Sombra.
teams were unsure how to go about playing her. How would a utility-based DPS hero fare in a first-person shooter game? It was a mystery that was
Hang on, wait a minute. Hang on, could you see that?
unsure how to go about playing her. How would a utility-based DPS hero fare?
See the timer right here? It was only for a small amount of time. 8 seconds you were invisible. Was not perma. Hey, my opinion, it was better. Wait a minute. Look at Hack. Was Hack on like a 12-second cooldown? What the hell is this?
In a first-person shooter game. It was a mystery that was nearly as complex as the ARG itself, and would take time to solve.
Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1.
Oh
Round
my
one.
god. The
Today's
good days.
matchup, Mighty Storm, Lunatic High.
Lunatic High's Eska, one of the legendary players of Overwatch history, was the first player to use Sombra in a professional tournament, when his team was up 2-0 against Mighty Storm during Apex Season 1. And the results were less than spectacular.
This is not
Wait, did you still wait, you can't see the kill feed because I was in the way. Look at these teams. Hang on. Toby, Miro, Rouge Hong, Jack. Who the f is Jack?
Than spectacular.
this is not going too well for Eski yet.
At launch, Sombra was a
Is that
very different
Silosa?
hero than the
Yeah, it
one we
was.
see today. Her translocator ability had to be used within 15 seconds after deployment.
Oh, it was. Oh, I forgot about that. It only had a 15-second timer on translocator. It was not permanent.
Forcing a get-in, get-out style of offense. Additionally, stealth caused her to move much faster, but only lasted 5 seconds. As a result, it was
I think I
difficult
buffed
to
me. It
use
was-
Sombra in a similar
was 8
method
seconds
to
for a long
Tracer or
time.
Genji in
It
the
was
dive
5
meta
seconds
that
at first.
dominated Apex, which emphasized rapidly
Bird
jumping
ring.
onto a target.
Wait, look at these teams. Mono. Wait, Mono's on the Lucio. Holy shit. Rouge Hong, Adam, Birdring, Panker.
And killing them as quickly as possible. With Sombra, players had to plan ahead and had a short window
You
to
can see the power creep on literally her entire kit. Yeah, true.
strike before her abilities ran out. Needless to say, it took a while for teams to develop strategies that incorporated Sombra.
Oops.
Well, also the meta at that point was so hard triple tank. Like, look at it. Everybody's running triple tank, quad tank. Like, Mighty Storm's running quad tank, but over here, I mean, you can't really see it because they're all kind of dead. But it's Winston, Diva. They have the Sombra, and then I think it's Mercy, Zen. I can't tell who this is.
Teams to
Maybe
develop
Tracer?
strategies that incorporate.
This was like early thoughts of like what dive would end up being, and then this was triple tank Ana meta, so they were running 4 tanks, but Ana was like giga OP
Oops. Well, he tried.
But there was one very important thing.
because Ana used to give you nano boost would give you 50% damage reduction, 50% speed increase, and 50% damage increase. Plus, her nade was like much bigger. Like it did more. It did more healing. It amplified everybody's. It was crazy. Like her nade was so good.
kit that would go on to define her role
And it would anti you, I think, for 5 seconds too.
on a team. At the time, Sombra was able to gain ult charge off of her allies using hacked health packs.
What's up, BP?
And since hacked health packs respawn 4 times faster, teams had an easy method of farming her EMP.
Yes.
Hacking a mega health pack means 250 HP of instant healing every 3.75 seconds. So by the time Apex Season 2 rolled around, Sombra was mainly used on defense and functioned as a second
on
support,
Volskaya.
existing only
Yeah,
to
this
kill
is
her
the-
team
this is the
and buff
mega!
their massive EMPs. We saw this most often on assault maps, where there was often a mega health pack close to the point.
Oh my god, look at this. Nus, Alpha, Seiya player, Hoon, Libero, Bernard, Alarm. Oh my god, Alarm. RIP, buddy. Bunny, Carpe. Holy
that a
shit.
defending Sombra and her teammates could quickly run back to. Some maps that this was common on were Volskaya Point A,
But again, though, this meta was hardcore triple tank. So you see, like, you have the Hog, Diva, Rhine, Ana, Soldier. It was the whole thing basically revolved around the Ana and Soldier because Soldier was giga buffed. So like they were running what ended up being later Dive with the Tracer Genji, but
as well as Temple of
Ana
Adiva's
was like
Peak,
the key.
because the mega health pack is literally just underneath the point. In the dive meta, almost every single hero had extremely good mobility and could easily jump down to grab the health pack, heal up, and use their high mobility to get right back into the fight. In this clip, Meta Athena
holy shit, Seiya player Widow. This is a throwback. Oh my god.
has just capped Point A thanks to a highlight reel 4K by Seiya player. BK's stars swap Alarm onto the Sombra, and watch just how quickly he's able to build EMP thanks to his
So
tanks in the mega
good.
health pack. Just how much ultimate charge did Sombra get from players being healed up by hacked health packs? Alarm has 75 HP and 75% ultimate charge. When he translocates out to his hacked health pack, his ultimate charge goes from 75% to 86%. All that just for healing 75 HP. When Burner on the Diva heals up a few seconds later, Alarm has his EMP locked and loaded. When it comes to ultimates, few are as effective as EMP. It has
It's
a quick
way
cast
stronger
time,
nowadays
shuts down
than it was
enemy
even then.
abilities, and obliterates shields. It's also difficult to counter EMP. Either you stun Sombra during her animation, which is incredibly difficult, hide and use defensive ultimates after EMP is cast, or have your team play spread out enough that not everyone gets hit by it. While the latter probably sounds like the most optimal, on maps like Temple of Anubis, where teams have to funnel through a select path to get to the point, playing spread out can make you super vulnerable.
Yeah.
Of course, there was the odd
Those
time when
problems
an
still exist
attacking
today.
Sombra could completely take over a game. One of
The reason why it was only a problem on 2CP back in the day is because with those small chokes, yeah, that's what made it really, really strong, but it was the health packs that made it really strong. But she wasn't super good on like Escort or Hybrid as much because she couldn't do that. But like Sombra nowadays just like rolls everywhere.
the first times we ever saw this was when Rascal and Kongdu Pantera took on Flash Lux. With sheer mechanical skill, Rascal dissected the triple tank team of Flash Lux.
Holy shit. Fisher, that's a throwback. Oh my god. Rascal, Evermore, Fleta.
On King's Row.
This has been a masterful display of
Whoever controlled Volsky and Mega controlled the world.
But for
and it was always scary. Like if the attacking team ran Sombra and your Sombra was kind of sleeping and they stole your Mega, it was GG.
most part, Sombra play through Apex was extremely limited. Just hack health packs, have tanks farm the health packs.
Yeah,
get
because mostly it was
EMP,
triple
win
tank
the
meta.
team fight,
So there was no
rinse
point.
And repeat. That is until February 27th, 2018, when big changes were made to Sombra's kit. She was no longer going to gain ultimate charge through health pack healing.
No longer gains health charge from health packs. Cast time reduced from 0.8 to 0.65. What is that right now? I don't even remember. Now disables the following abilities. Genji's cyber ability, so like double jump / wall climb, hover jets, Lucio speed boost and healing boost, wall ride, angelic descent, and machine pistol spread reduce. It's 0.75 right now.
To offset this, Blizzard decreased the spread on her primary weapon, resulting in a much needed damage buff. Additionally, Translocator's duration was increased by 5 seconds. Hack was now faster and could be applied to more abilities. This included Genji and Hanzo's wall climb, Pharah's hover jets.
So remember, there was a time where if you got hacked as Pharah, you didn't just fall out of the sky. Holy shit, that's old.
And even Lucio's boosts. The hack speed buff in particular was seen as being quite oppressive by the community and was revamped shortly after, going on a 2-second cooldown when interrupted by damage. This is because she often completed the hack faster than players could react to. While all this was going on, a new composition called Goats was infiltrating all.
Oh no, but hang on. Fate, Soon, Space, Agilius, Kariv, Costa, Surefour, Fisher, Bishu, Hydration, Big Goose, and Shaz. Wait, why show this game for like what it was Goats? This is a very interesting one to pick.
All tiers of Overwatch. The composition called for 3 tanks, 3 supports, and 0 DPS. This meant that Sombra had fallen out of favor. So while Sombra was much more of a DPS hero than her previous incarnation, there were still more changes yet to come. Changes that would forever shape Overwatch. July 24th, 2018. In what was an incredibly shocking change, Sombra received her biggest buffs to date that radically altered her playstyle yet again.
Stealth now lasts indefinitely. No longer can contest objectives while invisible. Wait, you can contest objectives when you were invisible before? I don't remember that. Movement speed buff decreased from 70% to 50%. Translocator lasts indefinitely. Can now be destroyed, has 5 health. Wait, it couldn't be destroyed before? Oh my god, I don't remember those things. And radius has been reduced. This was basically the Sombra we had for a long time, right?
Again, her invisibility and translocator now lasted
RCK was not him.
Indefinitely, meaning that Sombra players could now wait behind enemy lines for the perfect opportunity to pounce and bounce without needing to worry about her abilities being on a time limit. Developer comments stated, quote,
"These changes allowed Sombra to more easily play as an infiltrator and scout for her team, as well as give her time to pick and choose when to reveal herself and ambush her enemies."
These changes allow Sombra to worry about
what teams were these? Holy shit. Oh, this is World Cup 2018. 2018 or 2019? XQC's still here. I mean, XQC played in 2019. He was just kind of a little bit washed. Agilities, Bonnie, Note, Crimzo, Surefour, XQC, and then France wins Unco, AKM, Poco, Bembes, and Soon.
Her abilities being on a time limit. Developer comments stated, quote, "These changes allow Sombra to more easily play as an infiltrator and scout for her team, as well as give her time to pick
I'm excited to go to World Cup this year. I've never actually been to a BlizzCon, and I've never been to a World Cup before. It's going to be my first one ever. It's going to be cool.
choose when to reveal herself to ambush her enemy. The community was split on the change at the time. With
Soon on heels, interesting. Oh, wait. Oh, people might not. Wait, hang on. Hang on. I'm going to check your follow time. Like, no flame. Oh, 20 minutes ago. Are you a new Overwatch 2 player? So if you don't know about goats, so basically the DPS role got obliterated off the face of the map for like a year and a half. And you only had one spot that you could use a DPS player on. And so you got the Zarya player was one of your DPS. And then your other one was the Brig player. That's why a lot of people talk about like Samito playing Briggle all the time. That's why he hates the character so much, because he was a flex DPS player. And flex DPS didn't exist during GOATS. So all the flex DPS players became Brig players. And then all the hit scam players became Zarya players. As you see, they have AKM and Soon. And AKM was more of a hit scam player. Let's not talk about the Genji. So Soon, arguably, was a little bit more flexible, maybe just fit on that Brig role a little bit better. So your flex DPS played the Brig. So you can actually see on this other side, Agilities is also a DPS player. He was known for his Genji. He's playing Brig. And you have Surefour playing Sombra, but if they weren't playing Sombra mirrors, they'd be playing Zarya mirrors. That's why you might see in some of these old VODs, DPS players that you might have recognized that are playing Brig, it's because the DPS players had to play Brig.
On the change at the time.
That's how strong she was. That's how strong she was.
Sombra totally broken, as she could potentially remain invisible forever. And some thinking that Sombra would never be used again because all her abilities, except her ult, became unusable if she took just 5 damage. These changes happened right as GOATS was gaining popularity and becoming the dominant meta. With Overwatch
So then they go back to spawn. As you see, they swapped to Zarya, and now, yeah.
League Season 2 approaching, teams were experimenting with ways to incorporate Sombra within 3-3 and against it as a part of a multi-DPS comp. One of the first times we saw Sombra GOATS straight up outplay an opponent was when the Seoul Dynasty faced off against the New York Excelsior in the Stage 1 playoffs. And with Michelle's
Stage 1 New York Excelsior collapse. Feels bad.
signature diva being swapped for Sombra, Jonax Zenyatta was constantly under pressure from hacks and EMPs.
Because, okay, if I remember correctly, the reason why this happened was because, not because Sombra was good all of a sudden, but there was like 3 things. Damn, wonder what happened to Nene's grab later in the playoffs? Rialto won? Oh no. Oh no. you really are a archive of all that shit. God damn. But the reason why, in my opinion, okay, Nene is a separate category to talk about. But the reason why New York actually struggled, in my personal opinion, looking back, is because Jonak was the centerpiece and he literally was their DPS. But there was a change to Brig during the season that made it so that armor no longer stacked under shield. So 425 HP Jonak didn't exist anymore at that point. So the reason why he kept getting caught out of position is because he didn't have 400 HP to kill people.
Jonax Zenyatta was constantly under pressure from hacks, and EMPs which reduced his health to just 50. Then, in Stage 3 of the Overwatch League, the Los Angeles Valiant, a team that had gone 0-7 in Stage 1, suddenly stopped the unstoppable force that was the Vancouver Titans, who held a 19-0.
Well, bumpers on Winston. That was their fault. Also, for those who don't remember, this was called Floats, by the way. The Winston version of GOATS was called Floats. More you know. Backfiction. Holy shit, that's a throwback. KSF, Agilities, Kariv, Shax, and Custa. Someone brought it up because of Overwatch League stuff recently. Where, like, Custa wasn't actually allowed to play originally in GOATS because he was too smart. I don't know if that was with Dallas, though, or with Valiant. I don't remember. And then Somansu, Bumper, Haskell, Slime, Twilight, and Jajanu. Dude, this team was like literally one of the best teams of all time. They actually had I would argue this was probably the biggest fall from grace in Overwatch history. That was Moon on Valiant. It was with Coach Moon on Valiant. Wait, really? Holy shit.
7 in Stage 1
Too
suddenly
smart,
stopped
yes.
the unstoppable force that was the Vancouver Titans, who held a 19-0 record in the regular season at the time of the match. We won't go further into detail here, but suffice to say that Vancouver were unable to counter the Valiant Sombra and Ana variation on
I kind of wish they did.
During that same stage, more and more teams began to play Sombra. The Shanghai Dragons, running their own variation of Goats with Sombra, as well as various
Wait a minute. Shanghai Dragons up 2-0 on SF Shock.
DPS heavy comps, turned the entire meta on its head and
I
dominated
remember
both
this.
the Titans and the
Dude, the unethical... Actually, no, it wasn't that bad at the time. It was actually ethical. This was what became the counter Goats comp. So this was season 2? Season 2, stage 2. Yeah, this was after Goats had received multiple nerfs. And so you see they're playing Moira. Zen had gotten nerfed. Brig had gotten a bunch of nerfs, was still really good. Ryan had gotten some nerfs. Diva got nerfed, Zarya got nerfed, but like the whole thing keeping Goats together was AoE healing. It was literally this one, and then they supplemented a little bit with the Moira, plus like making this cross was really difficult. So then you had this counter comp, and so depending on the map, Dragons would either play ball, Gamsu would play ball, and Gamsu's ball was insane, or they would play this Orisa comp. I don't actually remember why they were playing 3 supports here. I don't actually fully remember, but the Pharah Mercy was the big key. The Orisa / Ball was the big key. The Sombra was the big key. And then these two would change, I think, depending on the map. Brig and Ana. I don't actually totally remember the exact reason, but this was actually the argument why to keep open queue as opposed to 222. Because the whole reason why we went into 222 was because we couldn't figure out how to beat Goats or how to get rid of Goats. Plus, like, ladder was another thing as well, but... Yeah, basically,
Sombra, as well
this was the original argument, like, okay, Shanghai Dragons figured out how to beat the best Ghost team in the world.
Various DPS heavy
maybe
comps turned the entire meta on
maybe
its
it's not
head
that bad.
and dominated both the Titans and the Shock en route to their first ever stage playoff.
Do these pros still play Overwatch? No. League? I don't think so. No, we won't talk about it. Retired. Yes. No.
On its head and dominated both the Titans
Rascal's
and the
coach?
Shock en route to their first ever stage playoff championship. Sombra had successfully infiltrated a team comp built on tanks and supports and had become a critical piece of the meta once again. For stage 4, however, it was clear that Goats had become far too oppressive and the game was becoming unenjoyable.
Hey, I'm just saying, this was some of the best Overwatch ever. Right here. This shit right here hit diff. This is when I was in Overwatch League still. This shit hit diff.
4, however, it was clear that Goats had become far too oppressive, and the game was becoming unenjoyable. The 2-2-2 role lock went into effect in the...
Yep, and then role lock comes out, all composition 2-2-2. Players cannot change roles within a map. They can change heroes within the role. Players can change roles between map. Facing stage, players will be seated 2 damage, 2 tanks, 2 support. I remember this was such a big deal.
OWL, and the effects were devastating for Sombra.
I think implementing 2-2-2 for playoffs was criminal. Yeah, someone at the beginning of stream asked me if like they're gonna balance the game differently now that Overwatch League is gone because like they always had to switch up the meta because of viewing experience. I'm like, are you delusional? They never did that. They never give a shit about Overwatch League. The amount of time Overwatch League got f***ed over by random patches or game changes was insane. I actually agree with you. It was wild that they implemented the 2-2-2 thing. Going into playoffs.
OWL, and
because the whole game
were
changed.
Devastating for Sombra. With Orisa becoming relevant in the meta and the Clockwork Vendetta composition being improved upon to become Reaper May, there was no longer
Holy
a place...
shit, this was evil. These were evil comps. Reaper May, Orisa, Diva, Moira Lucio, or Ana Lucio. This was right before Sigma came out.
For Sombra in the close quarters combat that defined stage 4.
This was actually when I stopped playing Overwatch for like 2 months because I hated this meta.
The situation only got worse during
And then
the
Sigma
OWL
comes
playoffs,
out.
as teams stacked shields upon shields.
Doom Reaper, double shield. Doom would punch through the shields. Reaper would walk through the shields. Moira Lucia. Oh
With a
my
front line
god.
of Orisa
Also, how many of these players are still around? No. 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 Actually, I don't know, actually. Yes. Charge? No. Actually, I don't remember. Possibly. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Yes. No. Papa Plays was not pro play? Okay. No, no, no. Shu, yes. Fitz, yes. Fleta, yeah. Marvel 1, yes. I'm guessing they're all Asia region. That might be why I don't see them anymore. I don't actually know anything about Asia region Overwatch anymore. It's been so many years.
Playoffs. As teams stacked shields upon shields with a front line of Orisa and Sigma, Reaper and Doomfist became meta for their ability to go past shields and get back to their own team safely. Something Sombra could also theoretically do, but not as rapidly or devastatingly as either of these two heroes. Right now, there are some teams and players experimenting.
The reason why you didn't play Sombra is because it was too hard to build EMP with the 2 shields.
With running Sombra, but she looks to be solidly out of the meta for the foreseeable future, as she did not feature at the Gauntlet in Seoul or the Overwatch World Cup in Anaheim.
Holy Outlaws, Muma, Linkser, Dante, Jake, Rockets, and Boink. Holy shit, that's old!
Nevertheless, her kit remains one of the strongest in the game, and she still sees playtime every now and then. And that's where Sombra is today. It's amazing to think that one hero could undergo so many changes that affected how they are played, from a defensive 2CP support to a backline DPS assassin, taking D.Va's spot in a 3-3, and in the future, perhaps, to even greater and
Links
more
are the
annoying
Apex
heights.
legend,
But
true.
until then,
Apagando las luces.
thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video.
That was pretty
What are
good.
your thoughts on Sombra's long drawn-out release? Which of the post-launch characters are your favorites? Let us know in the comments below. And as
I wonder what other comments look like. One hero can change their gameplay so much. Symmetra, who went from support to DPS and got 3 full kit changes, am I a joke too? Support Symmetra, damn, that's a throwback. Glad we still have those to look back on. Because, you know, it's been a long, long road. It's been a long, long road.